Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Life with B. So today's video is about tips for your cruising. If you're a first time cruiser, if you're a seasoned cruiser, this can be helpful because some of these things I didn't know until my last cruise, which was a few weeks ago. And now that I'm a travel agent, there's other things that I didn't know also, and I just wanted to share some tips and tricks with y'all. Now, before I get started, this is exclusive to Carnival. I'm not too familiar with other brands that way, but Carnival, I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. All right, so let's get started. The first tip would be snacks. Chips, cookies, popcorn, candy, all of the things you are allowed to bring with you on the cruise ship. You do not have to be traveling with minors or children. You can pack them for yourselves. I found them more helpful on my 7-day cruise on the Mardi Gras because if you don't know, the ship store prices are insane. So where you can get a canister of Pringles for maybe $1 or $2, you're gonna pay $8 for them at the ship store. And there's some things that you want that they just don't have. So if you have time, if you're able to, stop at a little store, a grocery store or something, because they're normally around the ports, and just grab some snacks and carry that one with you if you can. If not, you can pack it in your checked luggage, so it'll be fine. Tip number 2, monitor your price dropping. Now, I knew about this before, but I wasn't as educated. I just knew you can monitor your price, and that's all I knew. I knew it in a way as in monitor your price and jump on it right then and there. But what I have come to find out now that I'm a travel agent is depending on the type of cabin that you get. Like if you do a pack and go or early saver or guaranteed, depending on the type of package that you get for your cabin. If you purchase the cabin and say you lock it in for $1,200, right? If you're still paying on that and you find it cheaper for maybe say $1,000, you can call them and say, hey, I noticed the price drop. Can I get the difference? And what they'll either do is lock you in at that price. And then if you have paid it, sometimes they will either refund it to you, which more than likely they won't, but they can either refund it to you or you can get the difference as an onboard credit. If you don't have the knowledge or the patience to do that, that leads me right into my third one. My third tip, you can get a travel agent and you don't have to deal with the small details. If you're not sure where to start, if you're not sure how to go about doing things, but you know you want to try a cruise, you can call, you can reach out if you know a travel agent. If you would like to work with me, I'll put my info down below in the description box, and you can say, hey, this is my budget. I would like to book a vacation. I would like to book a cruise. This is my amount of money that I have. And you can also do it where sometimes they include flight as well. So if you don't know how to start or where to start, just get a travel agent. There is no extra cost or anything like that. The third one would be to book during wave season. What I would do was, it's around holiday time and the top of the year. You can get cruises. I know Priceline was good for this pre-pandemic. And what they would do is they would have it where you would waive the deposit, or the deposits would be like discounted super, super low. What I used to do and what I enjoyed doing was getting, booking like my cruises out, and you would pay just $25 processing fee. And then a few months down the line, you would have that wave deposit that would be due. And then depending on how long your sailing would be, it would either be 60 days or 90 days before your sailing that your final payment is due. So that frees up having to pay a large lump sum of money at the time if you like to book multiple trips, or if, like I said, it's holiday season, you just want to lock something in and then worry about that in a few months. Tip and a trick is to fly in a day or two before your cruise. Now, there's a few reasons why I say that. If it's somewhere that you've never been before, you can explore, you can try new restaurants, shopping, things like that. You know, it's a new area, like a pre-vacation, you know. If you can, if you can afford it, they are very inexpensive hotels. And just save yourself the energy and the aggravation and fly in a day or two early if you can. All right, the next one is there is transportation available. The cruise ships offer transportation. It's a big, like a charter bus, and depending on what airport you are at can depend on what the pricing will be. I don't mind that. I did that. I'm not a fan of doing that again because the amount of money that I paid to me just didn't make sense. Just the hustle and bustle, waiting for the bus to fill all the way up if there's a late flight or whatever the case is. Of course, they're not going to make you late for your cruise, but you know, just sitting and having to wait, I don't like doing that. But there are options. It doesn't matter if you fly in the day before. Some hotels offer a shuttle from the hotel to the cruise port for a discounted price, like super discounted. The range that I found was about $10 to $15 per person, one way. And then there's also the rideshare. If you don't want to be bothered, Lyft, Uber, however you want to do it. And then if you have a larger crowd, you know, you can also arrange for a car service. I did for a party of 5 for the Mardi Gras, and round trip, it was $160 for 5 people. That's amazing, because if you were to do it through Carnival, it's either anywhere between $40 and up per person one way. So it just made sense to do the private car service. And if you want the information for Port Canaveral for the private car service, I will definitely just comment down below and I'll put the information in there as well. The next one is day passes. A lot of people don't know about this, but if you're in port and it's a port that you've been to before, or you don't have anything really planned, you don't want to go do an adventurous excursion, you can get a day pass to a resort. Whether it be Margaritaville, whether it be just a resort in a certain location. If you go into your cruise manager, you can see the area, the resorts that are near those ports. You can get a day pass. They're not expensive. They're from about $40 and up, but for the most part, they offer discounts on foods, Wi-Fi, drinks. Some of the prices that are a little bit on the higher end, food and drink, Wi-Fi is included. And they'll also give you a little space if you need to change, things like that. So if you don't want to do something, you do not have to pick an excursion. You can get a day pass and have a beach day and no fuss at all, be done with it. Moving on, the next one is spa services. Now, spa services are, I don't want to say controversial, but you either do it or you won't do it. You're either like, I'm willing to try it, it's my first cruise, or you're like, no, I'm not spending these prices for the cruise. But if you do a spa package or anything in the spa on the days where you pull into port, the prices are discounted. And that's because most of the people are in the port exploring. If you wait to do a service, maybe that morning before you head out, or that day right before it's all aboard time, or anytime during that day, it's discounted. And if that makes you feel a little better that you saved some coin for something that you're trying out for the first time, I understand. The next is try and purchase everything in advance. What I mean by purchasing everything in advance is if you are not going through a travel agent, if you are booking by yourself, even if you are going through a travel agent, a good travel agent would suggest paying everything in advance, meaning Excursions, if you're going to do excursions. If you're going to stay at a hotel, have your hotel paid for. Have your gratuities already paid for, prepaid, done and out the way. If you do a drink package, you can have that paid and out the way. Transportation to and from the cruise, and whatever spending money that you have is strictly for spending money, because everything else would have been already paid for. I prefer doing things that way. I don't like surprises. I don't like hidden fees. I like to know what I'm paying for up front. Same thing with specialty dining. Just pay for it, be done and over with, and that's that. You can enjoy your cruise. You don't have credit card debt. You don't come back with a high bill at the end of your cruise trying to figure out what did you do, how did you do it. Just don't worry about it. Also, you can allot a certain amount of money to put on your onboard credit, like to load your account up. The next tip would be segue from that one. So if you want to do put money on your account, I personally suggest to do cash. Now, when you're checking in 2 weeks prior to your cruise, they're going to ask you, do you want to set up your onboard credit? And to do that over the computer is to add your debit card. That is the number one no-no. You will forget what you're spending because you're like, oh, I'll just pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that, and you don't get a bill because it's automatically going to be taken off of your card. You don't want to come back, like I said, with a high credit card bill. Have money that you want to put to the side after, like I said, everything that's paid for. And when you get ready to get on the ship, when you're doing your onboarding process, the last stop would be to check your credentials, and they'll ask you if you want to add cash onto your account. If you don't want to do it there, you can do it on board. The next one is the next tip. Before I get started, let me ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. I have a goal. I am trying to reach a goal. I don't just post about cruising content, which I love to cruise anyway, but it's also lifestyle things about healthy living, day-to-day things, cooking, just, it's my life with B. All right, the next one. Bring small bills. This should be included in your budget, I think. Of course, you're going to be doing your tipping, or your prepaid gratuities would have already been taken care of. But small bills, if you would like to tip your porters, those are the first people that you see. They take your luggage for you, so you don't have to tote it and like lug it on the ship. The next one would be if you want to tip extra for bartender, if you want to tip extra for your wait staff, if you want to tip extra for room steward, they're appreciative of the tips. The next one would be to print out your documents. I suggest printing out your negative COVID results, your boarding passes, all of the things that you would have to get from out of your phone, or anything that would cause a delay in the line. Just go ahead and print it out, because you're gonna have to show it. You're gonna have to show it to about at least 3 to 4 different people. And you don't want all those people on your phone, touching your phone, germs. You just don't wanna do that. So print everything out. If you're staying at a hotel, you can print it out the lobby. If you're coming straight from home, you can print it out beforehand and just be done with it. Put it in a little folder or tuck it in a bag or something like that, so it's easily accessible. You can have that and your credentials, and then you don't have to worry about anything else. The next tip is to set aside a little budget. I am not a gambler, but if you set aside a little budget to gamble in the casino, it will pay off. Meaning, when they do casino deals, where they do $20 casino deals, $10 casino deals, $40 casino deals, you will be notified. And it's not fake. It's not a gimmick. It's a real thing. Just put $20, $30 on your account leave your card in, go to the penny machine, like win something. Even if you don't win it, make sure you're okay with whatever you're putting in, you're okay with possibly not winning. But the perks in the long term and the discounts, that's what you're aiming for. The next tip would be to get a good travel agent. Like I said before, you don't pay anything. There's no extra fee. It takes the aggravation out of the small details. It takes the aggravation out of not knowing what the terminology is, or where your cabins are located, like, you know, best ways to get deals, cabins, discounts on hotels for before your trip, flight, all of those things. Another one is dining time. There's another small detail that some people may not realize it's important depending on what ship you're on. But there's my time dining, early dining, and late dining. I normally do early dining, but I wasn't aware of all of the venues. And I wasn't aware that you could not book dining, specialty dining, if you have a scheduled dining time. So day two of my trip, I went to the maitre d' and asked if I can go to my time dining instead of regular early dining, because you're not able to even check in until after 8 o'clock. And I don't know about you all, but I don't like to eat late. Not only that, I don't want to miss shows. The next one would be to have water waiting for you. That's something that you can purchase ahead of time and it'll be waiting for you. If you want to purchase liquor, you can buy your bottles and it'll be waiting for you in your room. That way you don't have to go back and forth to the bar if you don't want to and pay the extra gratuities on top of it. You don't have to pay $5-6 for this bottle, one bottle of water, and you can get a case of water for that same price. You can go ahead and pre-purchase it and be done, because you don't want to drink some of the water depending on some of the ports that you're going through, where you just, you know, the filtration system isn't as up to date as, you know, the US, and there's different guidelines and things like that. But I suggest just get water, have it waiting for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. The next would be if there are things that you want to purchase. T-shirts, keychains, speakers, whatever type of merchandise that you want to get for that specific ship that you're on. Souvenirs, basically. Purchase those on the last day, the last full day of your cruise. They always put them on super discount. They always have a big sale. Same thing with alcohol. Like the Pandora charms, where they have, some of the ships have Victoria's Secret section where you can purchase clothes and underwear, perfumes, things like that. Wait, the jewelry, the watches, wait until the last full day so you can enjoy the discounts and you can save some money. The last tip that I have for you, depending on the type of cruise, that's very important. If it's your first cruise, you have to decide what your crowd is. If you want a more fun, quick party vibe, shorter cruises are the way to go. If you want a relaxation and more entertainment and more downtime, longer cruises are better, meaning 5 days or longer. The 3-day cruises, most of the time it's a weekend. Everybody's popping out. It's a party thing. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be noisier. It's not that much entertainment shows wise because they're like clubs, comedy shows, party on the Lido deck, things like that, versus the Love and Marriage show, the Quest game show, the multiple comedy shows through the night, live entertainers, singers, bands. Those are things that you will enjoy and you'll have on your longer sailings. That wraps it up, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have different tips that I haven't named, different tips and tricks and hacks that I don't know about that you want to share, put them down in the comments. You can help somebody else. You can help me. Also, like I said, I will be putting my travel agent info down if anybody would like to book travel, if you would like to book your first cruise, second cruise, group cruise, it doesn't matter. I am here. I will see you all in the next vlog.